The film begins with an ambitious and brilliant fashion girl named Murphy, who has always dreamed of becoming a famous fashion designer. Although she was studying business management, Murphy lives with her journalist mother, who retired from work a few years ago after presenting a famous TV show exposing corruption. Murphy was on a date for a new job interview, and as usual, she takes her clothes from her mother's closet. However, her mother notices her and seems to hate Murphy's clothes due to the inconsistent colors in her view. She sees her daughter as a failure in the fashion field that she seeks to work in. Despite this, Murphy does not care about her mother's words and leaves for an interview with international fashion designer Layla. Then we see a businessman named Anil, who was always trying to observe Murphy's house from afar and remembers his past when he was a small child. We return to Murphy, who visits her neighbor, the tailor named Hamdi. Murphy complains to Hamdi about how her mother treats her and says that her mother is not encouraging her to achieve her dream. Meanwhile, the lawyer presents Anil with the building residence contract and tells him that Murphy's mother has no income other than the rent she receives from residents. Anil asks the lawyer to inform all residents to vacate the building owned by Murphy's mother, although the reason is still unclear. We go back to Murphy, who was at the job interview, and it seems that she was rejected and couldn't meet fashion designer Layla again. It's clear that Murphy was angry. Murphy meets a girl in the elevator who seems to like her taste in choosing her clothes because she looks different. Still, Murphy responds to the girl sharply and angrily. Suddenly, Murphy is surprised when she hears the assistant from the girl say that the girl is famous fashion designer Layla, whom Murphy had hoped to meet. Murphy realizes that she has lost the opportunity to speak with Layla and then goes to the cafe. But she receives another shock when she finds her lover cheating on her with another girl. Back home, Murphy discovers that all the building inhabitants are gathered at her mother's house. Sadness is evident on their faces since Murphy's father has sold the building to pay off his debts to the bank as he faces bankruptcy. The lawyer has given him 2 months to leave the building because the new buyer is ready to buy the building, and it seems that all the residents have no solution to the problem. Murphy is surprised because her father abandoned her and her mother 15 years ago. It is assumed that her mother is divorced from Murphy's father, and the apartment where Murphy lives belongs to her mother. However, her mother shocks her when she tells her that she is not divorced from her father, and Murphy understands that her mother refused to divorce his father to prevent him from marrying the woman he was cheating with. Murphy attacks her mother because they lost the house due to her stubbornness and love for her father, who has a son by the other woman. Murphy's mother apologizes to her daughter and tells her that their only chance is for Murphy to find a suitable job to save them from homelessness and poverty. Murphy leaves the collapsed house, then meets her friends and tells them about her problem and asks them to help her find a solution to restore the building. Murphy's friend named Ezra tells her that all young people in this period are interested in electronic apps, and they can design a new app that catches young people's attention. Thus, they can get rich after selling the app. Murphy notices that her young friends are interested in dating girls. She thinks of designing a new dating app called My Soulmate. The idea of the app is that every girl and guy should use the dating app on the condition that they wear masks so that neither party can recognize the identity of the other. This strategy will give couples the freedom to talk openly about anything in their life, so everyone on the app can find the right person in their life. Ezra and Murad really like Murphy's idea, and everyone starts thinking about it seriously. The next day, Murphy goes to a new job interview but is rejected as usual because she has no experience. After she leaves, Murphy receives a phone call from her friend Ezra, who tells her that businessman Anil likes the idea of a dating app and would like to meet them. Murphy did not know Anil's true identity, but her friend Ezra tells her that Anil is the biggest online marketer, and big companies will definitely buy the dating app from them if Anil markets and funds the app. The next day, Murphy prepares to meet Anil as usual. However, Murphy's mother attacks her daughter because of her poor taste in clothing and odd color choices. Murphy's mother is afraid that her daughter will fail the meeting like she did with previous interviewers. But Murphy responds to her mother by saying that her clothing choices represent her true personality because she wants to live life on her own terms. Then, she goes to her favorite place, creates her own account, and invites all girls to choose their clothes according to their personalities. She starts posting pictures on her account, And later at a cafe, Murphy accidentally meets Anil, who spills coffee on her pants. Murphy rebels at Anil's face since she will be late for the meeting if she goes back to change. She goes to the bathroom to clean her clothes and comes up with a crazy idea to put more coffee on her pants like a new design. When she sees Anil again, he is surprised at her ability to solve her problem easily. Murphy always pays attention to small clothing details and likes the buttons on Anil's jacket. Later, Murphy attends a meeting with her friends at Anil's company and is surprised to find that Anil is the same person she met at the coffee shop and insulted earlier. She seemed afraid that he would refuse to help fund the dating app. Murphy apologizes to Anil for insulting him and shows him the details of the dating app, which he seems to like. Eventually, he agrees to fund it, and before she leaves the company, Anil offers Murphy a job in his ready-to-wear branch. Murphy accepts his offer without thinking, but Anil asks his assistant to pressure Murphy at work to regret taking the job at his company, even though he offered her the job. Anil's bad deeds are beyond comprehension, but the photos and news found in his house show that Murphy was the reason for his father's death. Anil hates Murphy very much, and so from the beginning of the movie, he was trying to get her out of the house where she lives with her mother. The next day, Murphy goes to work in Anil's company, but she realizes that Anil's assistant's treatment of her is unusual, and she is under pressure at work. Anil was happy to watch Murphy through surveillance cameras, and the same events repeat themselves every day that Murphy is at work, and his assistant always pretends not to like her job and forces her to do it. However, Murphy tries to overcome all the pressure to continue her work because she loves the fashion field. She always posts her photos on her account in the dating app, and as days go by, the number of fans on Murphy's page in the app increases dramatically. One night, Murphy visits her friend Murad, who designed the first mask for the dating app for the benefit of the first customer, which was shaped like a wolf. Murad gives Murphy a gazelle mask as a gift, and Murphy celebrates with her friends with the new masks. Meanwhile, Anil was close to Murphy and notices that she is still happy despite the insults and pressures she has been under. The next morning, Murphy visits her friend Hamdi, a tailor, and talks about the pain she is experiencing at her job. Hamdi tries to cheer Murphy up and tells her that she is a talented girl and needs to prove to everyone that she is strong no matter how hard they try to crush her. Then they talk about the new buyer of the building where Murphy lives with her mother because Murphy wants to know the identity of the buyer to negotiate with them and convince them to reconsider their decision. In the business, Anil continues to watch over Murphy during her work and notices that she is a solid and strong girl despite the pressure she lives under daily. He realizes that he is unable to break her resolve or force her to tender her resignation. As a result, Anil orders his assistant to transfer Murphy to the warehouse to get her away from the fashion business she loves. Murphy agrees to work in the new place and takes advantage of her presence there by publishing her photos on her personal account. The next day, Murphy meets her father to know the identity of the buyer of the building and attacks him because he decided to sell the house without thinking about her and her mother. Murphy's father responds by saying that Murphy is mature enough to handle her responsibilities on her own, and he was forced to sell the house as he is in debt and wants to secure his young son's future. However, he does not tell Murphy the identity of the new buyer. Murphy is determined to get her house back and decides to throw a promotional party for the dating app with the help of her friends. She hopes to meet investors from China at the party with the help of Anil so that they can buy the dating app. Despite facing harassment from Anil at work, Murphy manages to change his attitude towards her by talking to him about how he chooses his clothes. She suggests to Anil that he allow her neighbor Hamdi, who works as a tailor, to take care of him. Initially, Anil refuses this suggestion, but eventually changes his mind and visits Hamdi to ask him to design a new suit. Anil continues to watch Murphy through surveillance cameras and uses the dating app to talk to her while wearing a mask. Murphy starts to open up to the unknown Anil and tells him about her idea for a fashion project competition. Anil encourages her to present her idea to her boss at work, but when she does, she finds out that her idea has been stolen by Anil's assistant. Murphy is unable to defend herself because she is afraid of losing her job, and Anil is surprised by her silence. However, Anil advises Murphy to enter the contest and take revenge on her boss and his assistant by succeeding in the competition. Murphy talks to Anil's character on the dating app about what happened at work, and he supports her plan. On the night of the promotional party for the dating app, Murphy is thrilled to see the person she was talking to on the app, but she is surprised when she sees the same buttons on his suit that she saw before in Anil's jacket. She realizes that the person she was talking to on the app is actually her boss at work, Anil. Meanwhile, Murphy's mother remembers that Anil's last name is familiar to her and finds out that he is the son of a corrupt man that she exposed in the past. Murphy tries to talk to Anil through the dating app without a mask, but he doesn't respond. Despite this, it is clear that the two have fallen in love with each other. Anil pitches the idea for the modeling contest that his assistant stole from Murphy to fashion designer Layla, who owns the largest fashion magazine in the country. Murphy takes the opportunity to ask if she can enter the contest as a new fashion designer, and Anil is impressed by her determination. However, Anil's assistant attacks Murphy for participating in the contest and orders her to stay alone in the enterprise until morning. Murphy notices Anil's presence in the business at night and takes advantage of the opportunity to get closer to him and find out if he loves her. She pretends to have a power outage phobia to enact her plan and discovers that Anil has feelings for her. Anil decides to take Murphy to the taxi to check on her, then gets romantically close to her. It seems like Murphy's mother was in the same place, and she sees Murphy with Anil. She goes to talk to him and asks him the reason for his actions. Anil responds by saying that he will stay behind her until he sees her suffering in front of him and will take everything from her to get revenge on his father for losing his home to her. Murphy's mother tells Anil that she exposed his father's corruption at work and he died after going bankrupt. Anil's mother was forced to sell the house to Murphy's father to pay off Anil's father's debts. She gives him the documents proving the truth of her words and warns him not to approach her daughter. She also tells him that his father tried to get close to her, but she pushed him away because she respects her friendship with Anil's mother. At night, Anil meets Murphy, who sees the mask, and Anil tells him that he was the one who was communicating with her on the dating app. But he is surprised when he finds out that Murphy knew his true identity all along. He tells her that he chose to meet her at this exact location because he was always watching her and knows full well that this place is his favorite place. Murphy realizes that Anil is interested in her, and Anil apologizes to her for his actions with her and leaves. The next day, Murphy arrives at the company and is at the peak of happiness, but is surprised to find out that she was fired for no reason. She leaves sad and goes to her friends, who tell her that Anil bought the dating app and blocked her traffic on all platforms. Thus, Murphy's relationship with him is back to zero, and he believes he avenged her. Murphy is very touched and feels overwhelmed because she fell in love with someone who cheated on her, abandoned her, and destroyed all her dreams and those of her friends. After returning home, Murphy is in further shock when his mother tells her that the new buyer of the building is Anil. She tells her all about him and his family. Murphy is depressed and breaks down whenever she remembers the times she had with Anil. Her neighbor tells her mother that Murphy became famous and had a lot of fans in a short time, and everyone loves her ideas and the way she chooses her clothes. Murphy's mother feels she oppressed her daughter's talent and didn't realize before that she was a special girl. She decides to help her overcome her emotional crisis. Murphy's mother takes Murphy to her bedroom and takes out all of her old clothes and starts motivating Murphy to force her to design distinctive new costumes using old clothes. She advises her to enter modeling contests and trust her success. Indeed, Murphy gets excited and begins designing innovative new costumes out of her mother's old clothes. Murphy succeeds in participating in modeling contests and introduces her new models, and everyone is amazed by her innovation and creativity because she was able to transform old clothes into modern costumes with the participation of her mother and modeling friends. Murphy was happy with her success, but we turn to Anil, who was sad because he lived his whole life in lies and delusion and realizes that the idea of revenge has caused him to lose the only girl he loved in his life. Anil's coach advises him to try to reach Murphy and not abandon her if he loves her. After several days, Murad and Ezra confess their love to each other and decide to get married. Meanwhile, Murphy and the residents of the building decide to leave and start their lives over. But Anil's lawyer tells them that Anil has waived their eviction from the building, and they can continue to live in their home. On Murad and Ezra's wedding day, Anil goes to meet Murphy, but Murad attacks him to get revenge on her. Anil tries to apologize to him and asks him to let him see Murphy for the last time and promises to go out of his way after talking to her. Anil meets Murphy and asks her to forgive him for everything he did with her. Anil also says he had a sad childhood and grew up hating it to the point that he only thought of revenge. But in the end, he found out he had been cheated on and admits he manipulated her from the start of their relationship. He loves her madly, and her strength and perseverance were the reasons for his admiration for her. Anil asks Murphy to give him another chance to prove he loves her and start a new life together. At the end of the movie, Murphy has become famous in fashion design, and Anil asks her for the second time to forgive him and give him a chance to start his life with her. Murphy forgave him because she loves him from the bottom of her heart and considers him her soulmate. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I always love hearing from my viewers, so feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts on the video or any suggestions for future content. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.